This is comedian Jamie Lissow, and whether you like it or not, you're listening to Fallen Hour Radio.
My name is Kerry Thomas Cody, and you're listening to Fallen Hour Radio.
This is DC O'Rourke, host of Hauntingly Yours, and you are listening to Fallen Hour Radio.
This is the Ghost Biker, and you're listening to Fallen Hour Radio.
All right.
Okay, can you rehash that?
My name is Cdale. This is Marcus, and tonight we have Aaron Baker on the podcast. I just said that again.
Your nipples?
I'm going again.
My nipples.
Oh, dude.
And yes, these are my real nipples. My name is Cdale. This is Marcus. Tonight we have Aaron Baker on the podcast, and you're listening to Fallen Hour Radio. Well, welcome back to the podcast. Tonight we got to mention Taisha Olette. Thank you for sponsoring the podcast. We took some time off. We're going to set up some stickers. Can't even talk now. I can't even do it now. We did the last one so perfectly.
The last one was like so perfect.
Jesus
everybody out there, we're just like, we had to restart this episode. We had like 20 minutes of solid gold going, and the record button was not hit.
Man, dude,
It was hit, but it shut itself off.
So Taisha Olette, thank you very much for sponsoring the podcast, and we got some stickers in. We're going to send them to you, and also an art piece. So,
Yeah.
That being said, again, so tonight's episode we are talking about UAPs, UFOs, USOs, and the government's involvement, and now they're disclosing this to the public.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that and see how the public's reacting to it, because it's kind of funny to see, especially with the...
What made me laugh is they didn't react at all.
Right.
Like, when they put it out there, everybody was just...
Yeah, we fucking know.
Yeah, we know. Thank you for, Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for nothing.
You know what's funny is a couple years ago, I think it was like Cambridge or something. Anyways, they did a study with their students, and they would bring them into a room, and they were like a psychologist, people that study like the mind and things, neurologists and things like that. And they took them into a room, and this is like documented. This came out in the paper, and I think like in the UK or something. But they take them to a room, and they ask their students, how would you feel if tomorrow the government announced that aliens are real? And it was like divided half and half. Some would say they'll freak out and things like that, and a lot of their belief systems are going to be gone and things of that nature, which is possible.
I think Kerry Thomas Cody sent me something
like that. Yeah. And then like a majority of them, though, they said that they'll be fine. I think they think it's awesome that aliens exist, or some other race out there has visited us, and then they kind of just went silent for a couple of years. Come this past couple of years, now the United States is starting to put out documents about USOs and UFOs and things like that. They haven't mentioned. They just
rebranded it.
Right.
That's all they did.
Yeah. They haven't.
I think UFOs got like such a bad name because they attributed that to flying saucers, and they made that into a joke, and I think they rebranded the name to make it sound more serious.
Right. And
that's what it seems like, doesn't it?
We talked about this with Jamie as well, Jamie Lissow.
Yeah.
How is it that back in like the 50s, 60s, like Bob Lazar's time coming out in the 80s, and saying that UFOs are real, he's worked on UFOs, he's reverse engineered them, and everyone just kind of shunned him and saying he's a crazy guy, and they discredited him on everything, wiped his history clean from being at the school he went to, and then come like...
I think they took it too far, and that's where they messed up.
Right. They
literally tried to wipe him from existence when obviously he's right there. They wiped everything. I think even his birth records, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah, and I think they went too far. Okay, that looks a little too suspicious.
His social security card too is gone.
Yeah.
What is social security?
Yeah.
Everything.
He can't nothing. But ever since then, he was discredited. And then he had this. We mentioned this on the podcast before too. Is he said there's a piece of technology there where you put your hand on there, and everyone's hand's different with their bone structure, like whether that's one bone and the measurement to the next bone.
It's like a fingerprint.
Yeah, and he said each of them had their own little unique signatures. So they would put their hand on this machine and it would open up like a freaking Star Trek thing, right? Like a door. And everyone said like this technology doesn't exist. Like it's too far advanced for today's technology back then, like in the 80s. Come to like the early 2020s, then or 2019, 2020, they disclosed that, saying that was an actual real thing we had back in the 80s. And it's real now. People can buy and stuff.
Yeah, like that's what I said. Like they always have something at least 50 years prior to when it's actually put out to the public.
Right.
Right.
All
It
the time,
used,
every
it
time.
used to be everybody said it was 10 years. The
Yeah.
military government was always 10 years
Yeah.
ahead of everybody else. But I think it just fucking goes and goes and goes even more now.
So that's what I was kind of.
Technology just goes so quick.
That's what always gets me about this is like that's why I always kind of feel like it's more so government, because they could have that technology, they're just not putting it out there.
Right.
They just keep it under wraps. That's how like that's my thought. But every time it comes to like extraterrestrial or anything like that, I always feel like it might be misidentified. It might be something like I always go more toward demonic or something like that. It could be that, and I keep thinking that UFOs or USOs or UAPs are like military, crafts. That's like where my mind tries to, because it makes sense to me for some reason.
Right.
But it's kind of funny though, because like if these UFOs are, because this is like one of the big debates now, is it another country? Is it Russia? Is it China? Is this their aircraft? And it's like, how is that possible? Because the propulsion on these things would obliterate you if you're inside.
Yeah, it'll turn you to mush.
But if we were to travel back like 100 years from now, like if you were to go back in like 100 years back and take your cell phone, take like whatever you have, like modern technology, you would probably be considered paranormal too.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'd probably be burned at a stake somewhere. And fucking hung for 3 days.
Warlock.
Yeah. This guy's a fucking wizard. It's Merlin.
So it's like, so if they do have technology like that, if it's possible that the U.S. or any government is creating these aircraft, can we perceive that as your paranormal? Is it possible that they've created these types of aircraft?
It's like normal to them, but paranormal
Right.
to us.
Right.
Is what you're saying?
Right. I'm sure it's a mix of both,
Yeah.
Maybe we do see fucking some alien shit. And maybe we just see our own stuff now that we consider alien because we just don't know
We
about
don't. Yeah, we've never seen it before.
it. Right.
Like the stealth bomber, that was like
Yeah.
kept classified for a long time, and people freaked out when they saw it. But it was the U.S. government
Yeah.
creating their next aircraft.
Like didn't even
Right.
Hitler try to make? He had like a disc-shaped fucking craft.
He was obsessed with time travel.
Yeah.
And then he tried to make like a time machine, and
Yeah, he was trying to do all sorts of stuff. I think he even had a bomber shaped that the B bomber was fucking shaped after was that
yeah, they
stealth
got it from
bomber.
his
that fucking silver one that's all super round.
Yeah.
They're all sharp.
and they had him. They had videos of, I think in Germany, of them testing out an aircraft that was round, and it was round, and there's a guy sitting in the middle, and he's able to like hover, but it's like freaking weird. He's like can't control it and whatnot, and then he lands it, and then
But that's as high as he can get.
Right.
It's like 2 foot.
But now you have like all these different planes that can actually do that and levitate. And
Yeah. They even have a jet that can do that.
Right.
Right. Well, that was before helicopters were invented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody was trying to push themselves forward instead of up.
Right.
So when it seemed like alien technology, and then like, boom, helicopters in the 50s, and it's like
Nothing now.
nothing. Yeah.
Right. So, and this is, go ahead.
We consider it a normal thing, as well.
Yeah.
Right. So this is one of the things that I put down in my notes. It's like, it was a thought. I was like, okay, so we have all this advancement in technology, and I didn't mention that in this one, did I?
We did earlier.
Right.
but-
So we have all this advancement in technology. You have Elon Musk launching Starlink all over the world. It's not long before other countries that are in poverty to get cell phones and connectivity and cameras, live streaming.
Well, look at just in Ukraine.
Right.
They got their whole shit like handed to them, and then Elon just dropped some internet on them fuckers.
Yeah.
Like,
He
oh,
just
fuck,
dropped
there you
Starlink
go.
like right over
Yeah.
Ukraine.
You're like, you got the world's fastest internet now.
Right. And this is one of the things, is one of the key selling points into why the government is releasing document is everyone has connectivity now. Everyone has a cell phone. Everybody has a way to correspond those sightings, whether that's a UFO or whether they're seeing something like a Bigfoot or something out there, is they have a way to correspond with each other if there's like a multiple sighting, like a mass sighting.
Different angles and different,
Right.
yeah.
And it's 4K too. It ain't no grainy video anymore.
Yeah.
High definition
Right.
in your pocket.
Right. So it's like so now I think the government's starting to see that they have to be a little more transparent, and now we got to release these
I think
documents.
they finally got pressured so much that they're like, all right, you know what, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah, this is out there. Aliens.
But they're not saying it's aliens.
Yeah, I know.
They're just saying that they're studying
They
some
just
sort of
don't know
phenomenon.
what it is.
Yeah, and I think this started back with Trump, and I think that he had some insight into this.
It was way before that.
And
but
right, no, but he started the Space Force.
even I think isn't it one of the band members from Blink 182 was really pushing for this, and that kind of helped.
Yeah,
gain
I can't
traction,
remember
too.
his name, but yeah, the original singer
Yeah.
before what's his name started.
He
doing
started
vocals,
putting his
too.
money into it and everything, started trying to push that too, because I think he had his own sightings and stuff, and he wanted to try to help bring that to light. So he actually started putting up his own money, and that kind of kickstarted this whole thing too. It really helped, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
To get the ball rolling.
Can't remember that guy's name. Is it
I know,
Matt
man. It's like in
something?
the back of my head.
Right.
He was trying to like campaign for them to
Yeah.
release documents and stuff.
Yeah.
And now we have like U.S. senators coming out and saying we don't know exactly what these are, but
Yeah.
they're flying over nuclear installations, and we don't know why, and we don't
Yeah.
know why they're able to disarm our nuclear arsenal.
I notice a lot of it has to do with nuclear, like anything nuclear. And man, every time I say nuclear, I always had that voice in the back of my head. It's nuclear, dumbass.
It goes both
Family
ways.
Guy. But I noticed that, like, they're like flying over these bases, even shutting them down, stuff like that. And a lot of these like subs nowadays are nuclear. So like there's a lot going on in the water. That's why I wanted to get into this, was because a lot of the stories that are in the oceans, even the bigger lakes, they're just insane.
Right.
Well, nuclear technology is just a mass energy source.
Yeah.
So if like any other like being or whatever can sense energy, they're gonna
Yeah.
where it's most congregated at to check it out. And nuclear's just there.
Yeah.
Until we figure something better out.
Yeah, I think that's what I think it's like attracting them. Like I even brought that up when we were talking to Jamie Lissow, was when they were testing the atom bomb, and there's reports of sightings of UFOs coming in while they were testing them. So they weren't just constantly testing this bomb to get it right. There was a theory that they were testing these bombs to draw them in, because they started noticing these UFOs coming in while they were testing these bombs. So they were trying to draw them in.
Which is a very strange and stupid thing to do.
That is, I know, just do it again. So much money just to see a UFO.
Right.
Right. I don't know. I think it's like, I don't know. We didn't start seeing UFOs till we got nuclear technology, and I think it's the release of all that energy out there that attracted shit here.
It was like a beacon.
Yeah, it was like a beacon. So like, oh shit, the kids fucking found the matches. Let's fucking go
Yeah.
over here.
That's like the perfect analogy.
Yeah, like let's fucking make sure these guys don't destroy themselves.
Yeah.
But it's kind of strange though to see all these different sightings, especially military putting them out now and recording them, and recording them on their cell phones, which is like a big factor in why they even put them out in the first place.
Yeah.
Is we have a Navy airship, our Navy, what the hell is that?
Carrier?
Carrier. And this is a famous sighting that popped up in like the past year and a half or year.
Right, and all the carriers are nuclear too.
Right. And we have this sighting now of,
Was it the Omaha?
I don't know which one it was. I just know it popped in my head just now. Anyways, there's a sighting, and it's night vision, and this guy's recording a UFO right outside of their ship, and it's triangular shape,
Yeah.
and it's following them for some time.
But there was like two of them, wasn't there?
I think
And
so.
the thing about it was it would tilt too.
Right.
And turn and tilt. So like one side didn't stay down. It would actually tilt and turn.
It's like a badass extraterrestrial drone.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of funny though, because like not every sighting has an abduction story, and not every abduction story doesn't end with some sort of like crazy sighting afterwards. They always pop up back where they're like in their house, or back in their car, or freaking naked in the forest, or things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is they don't have nothing.
I'd hate to be that guy. I mean,
Right. They make you look crazy. And but I was looking at all these. Some people have experienced things after they have sightings too, whether that's like nausea or headaches.
Nightmares,
Right,
of course.
things of that
I mean,
nature.
I would.
And one of the reasons, I think it was some scientist or some scholar was saying that if this technology is so advanced, if their propulsion is so advanced, then it's probably not possible for us right now as like unevolved humans, if we don't have the technology or covering to approach the craft just yet.
Yeah.
So how does the abduction stories come into play?
Yeah.
Teleportation.
Probably
That's what it is.
just beam you inside.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like break you down into fragments, like
Facts.
fucking
You heard
Star
it here
Trek.
first. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Bob Lazar's story was crazy too, because he said he stepped foot inside of it and there was no controls or nothing.
He's
there,
like
no,
all smooth, wasn't
yeah,
it?
no screens and everything. He said like everything was like melting together,
Yeah.
and you can see out of the ship without like no windows. The outside's all solid, but you can see like it's a big window.
That'd be so insane, man.
Just sit in the ship and use your mind to control it. Pretty
Right.
much. Just man, I think I watched an episode of like Star Trek or something where it was like that. Like you think like go and you go. You just like imagine that you're going like light speed over to a certain place and then you get there.
Right. And I think we're getting to that place now. I mean, especially Elon Musk again coming to trying to put like an implant in your head
Yeah.
to connect you to your like cell phones or devices. And he's right in saying that humans are already cyborgs because we interface with the screen
With technology.
right? But it's too slow. So he's trying to invent something that can actually go inside your head, and you can interact with things very
He's trying to
quickly.
like turn us into universal soldiers,
Right.
like freaking
But
Van
not-
Damme style. With the,
Right. Well, not only that, some of the Tesla features are you get in your car and it just knows what to
Yeah.
do. So like you don't have to press drive or reverse; it just knows exactly what you want to do. So if you're parked against
Memory.
against a wall, it'll know to back up.
That might be dangerous because sometimes I feel like hitting a guardrail.
it just takes that impulse.
Yeah,
and
it just takes
does
that
it.
impulse and fucking sends you
It
to a
just
pole.
takes it to the
Right.
next level.
So like
That
how
wasn't
much-
really going to do it. What the fuck?
So like how much further into the future are we going to get to that state of actually flying an aircraft where you don't have to do nothing? I mean, airplanes do this already. Is you get into the cockpit and the plane already has the trajectory.
They're
and-
already trying to make flying cars in like I think China or something. They're already testing them.
yeah.
And they're I remember listening to a podcast not so long ago about that, where they're actually testing them already, and it's right there. Like we're right fucking there,
Right.
and it's just like kind of going about how to like market that and put
Well,
that out.
did you
is
see
the
there's
whole
that
thing, though.
that video of that guy in like Holland or Germany or something that made his like out of like a bunch of fucking like drones or something made his own little like car
Yeah,
type thing and like went and got like a fucking bagel or something. And fucking went into a bakery, got like a sandwich, hopped back in his thing, and then fucking flew off.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it was like some foreign country, but it was funny. I was like, "That's fucking dope!" Like we,
it's genius.
So Marcus was supposed to do research for tonight's podcast, but declined to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I did like a while back when I was like, dude, let's do this. And I thought we were going to record like within a few days. And I just crammed all this stuff into my melon and it like all just faded out. It got
And-
too busy.
So why do you think the U.S. is putting out documents now? Like, why do you think they're disclosing this now to the public?
I
distraction, keep
Yeah,
us
you
from
think
rising
so?
up. Things were getting heated, fucking when that shit was happening. There was the riots and then COVID and all that stuff.
and then like in the middle of that, they're like, UFOs are real.
UFOs, and then I don't think it got the reaction they wanted. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because we just kind of like, yeah, fuck, we already know there's UFOs out there. Like, fix our damn country.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't give a shit about that stuff. Like, I want to go to fucking work.
It was a perfect
You know?
time to put it out. Everyone's distracted by something else, and nobody cares because people are dying out there from
Yeah.
this virus. And like you said, there's riots happening, and then the government's like, okay, we'll sneak this in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
Put it out.
release this. Dude, I've always wanted to fucking, like, get that information.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked into that shit yet.
Right.
And it's out there now.
it's accessible. We
It's
just don't want to do it
accessible,
yet.
and I'm like, oh, I got better shit to do.
But it's like the way they word everything is just so vague. Is how it is.
Well, and they
Right.
say a lot of that stuff is still blocked out
yeah.
to where it's almost unreadable anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Just enough to say that there's something there.
yeah.
Is all it
But
is.
doesn't give you any of the details,
Yeah.
which is stupid.
That's why I like looking into like all these retired military officials or senators or mayors and stuff like that who were told to keep things under wraps or lie or say it was this or that. And once they retire, that's when the real story comes out. And that's why I like looking into those guys' like stuff, because they come out and say, you know what, this is what really happened, and this is what they told me to do. So they've been doing that forever, for as long as this has been a thing. They've been having them lie to the public, saying, we need to keep this under wraps, but why?
Right.
Like I don't understand why. Like, are they afraid that we might just freak the hell out or something, or if it's just something that they don't think we can grasp? But like most of the people are saying that, no, we believe something's out there,
I think
And
a lot of it is because it crushed a lot of religions.
Yeah.
Right.
And they use religion to control us all the time. It push us around. But if fucking in an instant everybody became an atheist or something,
Yeah, like you think that might happen, and they might
they would lose
like the
some
rules
sort
and
of
stuff
power.
will go out the window.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of new religions would pop up too,
Yeah, probably.
because there's like these otherworldly people coming, just like how it happens in culture as well.
Well, I mean, like there was like a cult like that, wasn't there? They're like saying that
Every fucking cult's like that. There's always
like
a goddamn
spaceship is
spaceship
gonna come back and take them to their
to the
home
fucking
planet.
promised land.
Yeah,
Drink some fucking cyanide. It's cool. It's some Kool-Aid. It's all right.
Right. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like
Looks like the ship's coming early. Fucking, we better hurry this shit up.
right. Because I think if they came out and said, okay, wait, there's disclosure of aliens now. Like if that's their next thing.
yeah,
There's aliens out there. We've communicated with them. We've interacted with them. They gave us technology, whatever. This is like one of the big theories. Is okay. So now that we've been disclosed about UFOs, how much of these conspiracy theories are actually fact? Whether that's who was it? I think it was one of the presidents.
Ronald Reagan.
I think it was
Roosevelt.
Reagan. One of them. Anyways, he was said to actually.
Did you just say Roosevelt because it was an R? Roosevelt.
Anyways,
Teddy.
he was there's conspiracy on him saying that he's interacted with aliens,
yeah.
and on the date that they say
I could have sworn that was Roosevelt.
that he's interacted with aliens was he was going to this military base or something, right?
Yeah.
And they said he was always punctual, always on time, but for some reason on this day, he was at a military base, and they don't know what he was doing there or why he was there, but he was like a good half hour late to his engagement.
Yeah,
And they say, and then about like 5 or 10 years after that, or from some months maybe, the U.S.
Is it months or years? What the fuck?
he
sometime
worked his way backwards.
I don't know
Usually
exactly.
people work their way the other
Oh,
way.
shit.
I don't know exactly, but sometime after that, the U.S. started to advance in weaponry and technology and aircraft.
Yeah,
After that supposed
like
meeting,
they say, they made a deal for that technology.
Dude, the
Right.
last
one of the
like
theories.
Right.
120 years of technology has drastically fucking changed.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like from us using oil fucking lanterns to watching 8K television.
Right.
Yeah,
Like just look at our grandparents. How much have they seen in their life
yeah,
in technological advancements?
Yeah.
It's fucking mind numbing,
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised half these old people aren't fucking nuts.
Right. And that's how we're gonna be too. It's like we're not gonna be able to keep up with it once we start getting older. Like,
Yeah.
oh, back in my day we had the iPhone and things like that. You know what I mean? It's like in the future, what's the technology gonna look like, and why is it looking like that?
Dude, my work car has a cassette player in it, and I busted out some old fucking cassette tapes. It just blew my fucking kid's mind. Like, there's music on that? I'm like, yeah, there's music on it. It's like, let's listen to some music. They're like, looking at me like, this is a fucking waste of time. I'm like, what are you doing?
You're damn right. There's music on there.
Not even that old. I'm fucking 30, dude. Like, chill, dude. We're not even old.
So let's take this over to your side of the table now, Marcus. I covered a good half hour. Let's see what you got.
You did not. We were all back and forth.
Right.
There was banter
So,
Yeah.
all over the place.
what are your thoughts on this whole subject? Like, why does this interest you now?
It always has, ever since I was a kid. Like, I always found it interesting. Like, it's just where my mind kind of went from, like, thinking it was more aliens is when I got older, I was thinking maybe it might be more military, I think that's just how my mind kind of developed. And what are you doing?
I'm reading. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
But yeah, like when I got into like the whole USOs and everything like that, it was just so different for some reason. It just seemed so different rather than, just seeing a, like a flying saucer or something like that. It was just strange. It seemed more strange in the water because some of these USOs were clocked at going like 700 knots.
Right.
Underwater.
And that's like underwater.
Right.
There's like no resistance. Like they're flying as fast underwater as they are outside of the water.
Wow.
Dude,
So
imagine just hauling balls and just smacking a whale.
I know. Just
Dude, I wonder if
blowing
they have
through
like
whales.
good insurance.
And they're like wondering why they're finding these whales cut in half everywhere.
Right.
It's
These
USO.
beached whales, it's just them fucking flying. Fucking. Like, fuck, watch where you're going, dude. Fuck.
It's
Fuckers
possible.
are hard to move.
I didn't even think of that. Like now, like dude, I remember
Beached
seeing
whales.
a video. There's like a whale cut in half, and now I'm like, dude, it was a UFO.
Did you guys see that fucking video of them guys blowing that whale up on the beach? It just made more
Oh
of a
my
mess.
god, yeah.
What on Reno 911?
No, it really
No,
happened.
it was
really,
real.
it really happened.
They really blew it.
They
I
really-
can't remember if it was in like fucking Oregon or Washington or
Yeah.
something.
What the deal?
They had a beached whale up there. They're like, oh, well, fuck, we can't move this. So they fucking loaded it full of dynamite and blew it up.
It was
Fucking rotted.
raining whale meat.
They got
like,
that straight from the
everywhere.
movie.
Fucking dumb.
The movie was. They got that from the real story. This was way before that.
Oh, was it really?
It literally like rained whale everywhere. I think
Oh
like
my
even
God.
a little bit like in the next town, didn't it? It
I
was like
can't
so
remember.
much.
I just thought it was the dumbest shit, but it's something I would totally be down for.
They said it was a tragedy.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
Just
you blew up a
rotting,
whale.
rancid whale meat
They said
everywhere.
it smelled like awful for like ever.
That's
Trying to clean up
disgusting.
whale. Like
Like, yeah,
Man.
fucking load that bitch with dynamite. Fucking send it. Full send.
So we have this underground sightings now. Or not underground, underwater.
yeah.
And this is, I don't know if it's a relatively new thing, but it's Columbus had this sighting when
it's nothing new.
right.
It's just yeah.
and Columbus wrote about seeing a disc object come out of the water and it had lights around it.
Do you ever think that fucking, that might be what Atlantis is? You know, it fucking sunk into the ocean. It was more technologically advanced than any other civilization.
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind too.
Right. Do you think maybe it was a fucking USO? And it would surface for like a while and then just disappear when it felt like it?
Like the whole city of Atlantis was a
Was a UFO.
was a massive UFO.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then, because like there's been sightings of where Atlantis is, like all over the fucking world, honestly.
Right.
Isn't there a documentary on Disney Plus? One of the directors actually sent this guy out, like a big director. I can't remember who it is. Sent this guy out to
Not
go
big
find
enough.
it. Yeah. No, like when you hear his name, you're gonna be like, dude, how could you not like remember that name? It was like Spielberg or somebody. But he sent this guy out, and I think he found it. Like all the evidence he found,
Right.
everything. It was like he found it. You got to watch.
Was
it,
that
dude.
the
It's freaking
Antarctica
insane.
one? Where it's
No.
Atlantis in
No,
Antarctica?
it's like I think it's like in Greece or something.
Oh, yeah,
they
I can
look
see
back
that.
into all these documents and everything, and he found evidence that it's like in Santorini or something like that. I can't remember. It's crazy, dude. You got to watch
I've
it.
covered the Atlantis one, and that's basically what I got in notes is this whole theory of Atlantis. So I got you covered.
So
Oh,
are you
fuck
saying
yeah.
that like Atlantis is basically like Wakanda? Like they were way beyond their time.
Dude, I've
with
never
the
watched Black
technology.
Panther.
Are you serious?
Dude, I haven't even watched Ben Affleck Batman. I'm just behind.
I haven't seen that one either.
I just worked my ass off these last few years.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I want to
So-
see it.
I got some notes here, and besides having to like try to think about this stuff or bring it back to memory, I'm just gonna read it. So I went back to biblical texts, and also there's Mesopotamia. I think mentions the same text, and there's solutions to that of why there's different colonies or different races having the same story. And I went to biblical texts because like that's like one of the ones I usually shoot to because
Yeah.
that's like one of the earliest accounts. It's well documented. It's put together in a way where you can actually reference it now with archaeologists and things like that. So
Right. Did you ever like read in on like the Nephilim?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that all ties into this too, but I haven't got to that part. But in Genesis 6:9, there's the story of Noah and the flood, and this somehow ties into what would be known as Atlantis now. Was what they're when I was researching it, they're trying to like mesh these two stories together, and I'm not quite sure yet. But this legend is told in different cultures around the world, Noah and the Ark. And the legends have similarities and differences. How is it possible that the different cultures around the world have the same story, whether that's Noah and the Ark? Every culture, there's like at least like 90 or something like that. Different cultures around the world have the same story of a man and his family and a massive flood coming. And they all say the same thing. He took animals on the ship or whatever, and he built this. He was a carpenter or whatever. And he built this ark, and he saved basically humanity he was the only one to survive. Mm-hmm. And all these different cultures have the same story, saying that this one man was picked from, whether that's God or a higher being or something like that, some sort of different.
But that story goes back, like in each of those countries, it goes back way back,
right?
To like how'd they get that story already?
Don't they
didn't
think
have
that
any visitors?
Right.
Don't they think now that the Great Flood happened before the last ice age too?
Right. And
I heard something
they
about
think the
that.
last ice age wasn't even that long ago either.
No.
And
Right.
I mean, they're trying to date now the Egyptians
But
back
when
to
when they date things, it's like they literally said that even carbon dating and stuff like that it's
They're just taking a
way
guess.
off. It's
right.
just-
So they
could be off by hundreds of thousands of years.
They had archaeologists dating Egypt back to like 2,000-3,000 years.
Yeah.
New archaeologists are discovering that the weathering on the Sphinx and the pyramids dates way back further than that because it has water erosion.
Right.
And there's water erosion way up there around the pyramids. So what they're
So
saying
that
now,
was all built before.
right? So what they're
Before it
saying
was
is
underwater.
it went from 3,000 years old, and now they're debating whether it's 10,000 years old. Egypt. So that being said,
Dude, it's funny. I'm like hitting all your notes with all the Nephilim. and
I know.
shit.
So
I
they'll-
didn't even read your script. Or anything.
So though they tell different versions of the story, the core remains. There was a man, there was a flood, there was a family. He saved the human race somehow. He was he was the most righteous man on the earth. The Bible talks about, and so a lot of these different scholars, different people argue that maybe the Bible took from these cultures. Maybe the Bible took some sort of piece of that and then put that into their script, talking about Noah.
Well, the Bible is just a collection of stories from all over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe people were a little bit more connected than we think they were.
Right. And and I have the solution to that is I remembered there's a scripture that talks about man being one tongue at one time, was the creation, and all these different races were one race, right? And God told them to, and this is in Genesis chapter 11, it talks about them being one tongue, and he tells them to be fruitful and multiply, like spread out, go around the world, scatter, right? And they declined to do so. And they all stayed within, I think, the plains of Shinar, and they weren't listening. So God came down.
Didn't that all come like tie in with the Tower of Babel?
I don't know. I don't think that's later on. But God came down, and he confused their language. So now everyone can't understand each other.
Of the Tower of Babel.
Right. Now everyone can't understand each other. Everyone's talking different language. So what they do is they finally get in their groups.
Is that how the app Babel got their name?
Yeah.
That's
It
fucking
is, dude.
Probably.
Every time I
Just
see
like
that, it makes
Rosetta
me laugh.
Stone.
Yeah.
Right, so they all scattered around the world, and this has a solution of why the Bible has similarities to all these cultures around the world. It's like, what if these different cultures around the world that have the same story is, if you're a people and your tongue is confused with the next, wouldn't you want to keep some of your culture from that one race and take it back to your now country, and then retell those stories of this is how we're here now. There was a man, there was a massive flood. And they retell those stories in their cultures,
own language,
right? And also the same cultures that have that story have the same story about Eden. They have a story about a serpent and
interesting, yeah.
right? And the Garden of Eden and a man, and it's really strange. And but they all have different. They kind of differ from each other. Some of them kind of distort some part of the story, and others have different variations of it. But it's always about the Garden of Eden, and some of them they give it a different name. There's a serpent, and there's man's downfall by eating the fruit.
You think it changed because it was like basically kind of like storytelling and word of mouth rather than written,
Right.
back then?
I don't think they thought about doing like a written document until later on.
Yeah. So that's probably why it kind of changed over time.
Right.
in some of those cultures.
So going back to Atlantis, is this flood was referenced especially in Egypt, especially in those Eastern cultures. They all acknowledge the flood, and archaeologists has taken a look at this, and they say, okay, now there's proof there was a flood back then, and it was massive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different erosions around the world. There's different like the Egypt and the Sahara Desert, that used to be all ocean at one time.
Yeah.
And that was like billions of years ago, right? So now they're saying, there's proof that there was a flood that happened, and it was massive. So they go back into Egyptian text, and the Egyptians talk about this. But the Egyptians mention a race. They mention this far advanced race than they were. And it's like, okay, so if they met this race, like, could they have helped them build the pyramids? Or
was it the Anunnaki?
The Atlantis. The
Desert
Atlanteans.
people?
No.
I knew he was going to go there. I was just waiting for it.
So,
Fucking knew it.
So the Egyptians spoke of a civilization, of a race before the biblical flood. The Mesopotamians spoke of this in their texts. The Egyptians spoke of a civilization called Atlantis that existed 9,000 years before the time of Pluto. And Pluto was a philosopher that lived about 2,439 years to be exact ago. And
Exactago.
right? Pluto talks about the last days of Atlantis. The text Pluto wrote creates the theory Atlantis is covered in ice, now located in Antarctica. The text talks about Atlantis being an extraterrestrial colony on Earth that was covered in ice due to the pole shift. And researchers believe now this to be a base. There's like scholars now that research alien sightings or UFO sightings. They think now that Antarctica is a base in the U.S. and
But you
all
see
these.
those like pictures of like these choppers, like these massive choppers and stuff, flying into these tunnels, and the tunnels are so big that those choppers look just like babies.
Tiny.
Right.
Yeah, they're tiny.
And
So
there's
there's something in there.
they think that they're corresponding with this base that in Antarctica, like they're still corresponding with whether that's
Like that
Advanced
culture
civilization.
like survived there and they're still kicking.
right, yeah,
This advanced,
huh?
the advanced culture that you're talking
Yeah,
about?
because this whole text, this ancient text, ties into the place of Atlantis, and now that place is covered in ice.
Okay.
And now, and the pole shift and all the different ways that continents shifted around with the plates moving and things, it could have placed Atlantis in the South Pole,
Yeah.
and that could be now where Atlantis is.
Interesting.
And this is like something we talked about in the podcast too.
Check.
Is what if these UFOs are just Atlanteans, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of them go back and they disappear in the water. We have a video.
So like they just go in there and scrounging up their tech and then flying it back and trying to build something.
Right.
Is that what you're thinking?
Or maybe they got a fucking relationship with them.
Maybe.
Right. And that's the thing, is they think that the governments around the world have a relationship with these Atlanteans, and that's why they're blocking out everyone to go
from
there,
going
to
there.
visit there. Yeah, even researchers have a hard time getting there.
Yeah.
The renowned scientists have a hard time going there. They have to like apply for it and things like that.
Okay.
Kaboom.
Boom. Aliens. No, that stuff's pretty interesting, you know, and there's so much stuff to dig into. Like, you could talk for years about
Yeah.
this shit and never get to the bottom of anything.
Right.
Did you
It's all speculation.
Did you ever find that story I told you about where they caught that USO going light speed underwater?
No, I didn't see
You
that one.
didn't find
No,
it?
I didn't see it. I was
Man,
looking
I
up
could not find that again.
because I was trying to think about where to take the podcast.
It was like not too
and
long ago.
I was like, okay, we can talk about these sightings, but then we're gonna like come to an end at those sightings. And but as opposed to like text and stuff, I think I can
Like,
have a
imagine
little conversation
that,
then.
something going the speed of light underwater.
Right.
Like there's no way a person could be piloting that thing. That is
Right.
way too fast.
And we were talking about I haven't seen that one yet.
You would think if something was going light speed on the planet, it would tear the planet
Yeah.
apart.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we were talking about how we've advanced in technology, and we think these aliens or whatever have given the U.S. technology, meeting these beings, They brought technology, they brought weaponry, they brought everything to advance us, and it advanced us. That's the theory. There's another story in the Bible, and this one refers to Enoch. And
the book of Enoch.
right, the famous story about this group of angels coming down, and
My dad's super into this story.
right, and this is the time of Noah. This is like some years, and then God finally had enough of like the angels sleeping with women, having giant, like, this is what the Nephilim is they
Giants,
slept, right?
yeah.
They created giants. They created angelic, half human beings,
Like demigods.
right? And this was like one of the huge downfalls of these fallen angels coming down. And the thing is they didn't just do that. Is each of these angels had a different name, right? And this is in the book of Enoch, so this kind of like differs from a lot of what we traditionally know as the biblical
Bible,
text,
yeah.
right?
Right, yeah, because the book of Enoch was removed from the Bible.
Right, but he's mentioned in the Bible.
Yeah.
He's mentioned in the lineage of Jesus. So
Right.
when you go to the begots and stuff, it mentions Enoch, and it says he was taken up, and like that's it.
He's also mentioned somewhere else in there too.
Right.
It says he was a prophet.
Right, and they say that.
Yeah, but they took the prophet's book out of the Bible, so
Yeah, so it mentions Enoch,
cherry picked.
but it just gives like a short little summary of who he was, and
Yeah.
it says, and then
Oh,
Enoch,
yeah, he was a cool guy, and he's gone now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about him.
and he was also the only other prophet to be taken up.
Yeah.
It was well, actually Moses was taken up, and I think Elijah was taken up, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
And now we have the story of Enoch. So they weren't buried on earth, and these are the only people that God ever
Just
actually took.
Right, VIPs.
Right, so
Yeah.
that's like their body, their bones, their clothes, everything. He took them with him. So you can't find Moses out there. You can't find Elijah. You can't find, now you especially can't find Jesus.
Yeah.
And now we have the story of Enoch, and these different angels had different strengths. So one was good in weaponry, one was good in spells and things of that nature. So he brought down like sorcery and different ways that humans can interact with the spiritual that differs from praying, right? And then another one came down and he introduced astrology to the humans. So now we have all these different stories of these beings coming down around the world and teaching them how to be advanced technology and weaponry, and teaching them astrology and things of nature, which today is known as science. And it's like that's mentioned in Enoch.
Yeah.
Is that they had this knowledge of astrology, knowledge of science, and they introduced that to the humans. And then does that kind of coincide with some of these sightings? Are these fallen angels? And are they able to advance this in technology, and have they done that?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah, maybe. Fuck.
Right. I took up that whole 20
I
minutes.
was expecting that last part. That's actually because like we talked about that like a lot.
Right.
Like, actually
Dude,
kinda
I've
brought
been
that
meaning to look into the Nephilim and the book of Enoch because my dad's real big on that kind of
Right.
stuff.
up. Yeah.
And he's been trying to get me to do it for a long time, and I just never find the time.
I don't know why. It's just like when I look into that, like the
Nephilim.
Nephilim and stuff, man, it just kind of
Right.
like, I don't know why, but it just creeps me out. It gives me like a creepy feeling every time I looked into it. I don't know why.
It's like the Nephilim.
It just gives me this type feeling.
Right,
Just-
but in the I think in the Book of Enoch, but it's either the Book of Enoch or the I'm either confusing that with other cultures. But
So do you think the like David and Goliath story kind of shadows fucking Nephilim?
I think so, probably.
You think
'Cause he was a
Goliath
giant.
was a giant?
as
Yeah.
they said, how tall was he?
I say he was like 9-10 feet, something like that.
I thought it was like 12.
Was it something
He
like
was
that?
Massive.
Right, and all these angels that came down, and this we mentioned this in the podcast too, is we talked a little about angels, a little bit about demons, and these angels that came down just look like man,
Yeah.
but they were 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're massive men, and they were teaching all these people
Yeah.
different things. And I think we
It's
should
like archangels.
Right.
Are like massive.
right, and I think we should. But this would be just classified as another form of angel, is because there's different like seraphims, cherubs, things of that nature. There's 5 divisions, and there's only one division that deals with humanity, and those are the ones you could see day to day and not know it. And this
Yeah.
is why they say always to treat someone like you're meeting an angel.
Yeah.
Treat everyone with respect and things of that nature. But these angels that came down, they didn't look scary. They didn't look, because like you see these other prophets interacting with the angels, and they freak out because they're
like covered in eyes or something.
Right.
Yeah, I think I've seen that picture of the fucking.
Yeah.
That's the seraphim, ain't it?
Seraphim.
Yeah, the eye one.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Dude, that's what
Aaron's bike's name.
Aaron's bike's name. That's
Sarah,
the seraphim.
yeah. Because I mean, like even Mary had a sighting, and she was startled a little bit. What's his other name? The mom to John the Baptist, her husband. I forgot his name now. I was just reading on him. Anyways, he was a priest, and he went into his temple, and the emperor or whatever said, okay, you're gonna get this honor now. You're gonna go and you're gonna light the incense inside of this temple, which is like a huge honor. So people are outside, and this happens like every Sunday, whatever. And they're standing outside, and he goes inside alone, and he spends some time in there, and they're like, what's taking him so long? Meanwhile, he's in there freaking out because there's this Gabriel visits him, and he says, I'm going to give you a child. And then he says, he responds to them saying, how can I have
That's dirty, man.
Right. He says, well, I'm going to give your wife a child. You're going to be with a child. And he said, I'm an old man. How am I able to bear a child?
Yeah.
So Michael or Gabriel says, so you're doubting me. You're doubting
God.
Yeah. So I'm going to mute you. So this priest comes out, not able to talk now, and
it was just a simple question. He just fucking smited.
He says you're going to be a mute until this word comes to pass. So you're not going to be able to talk until your child gets here.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to use his tongue, because the tongue is like the thing that births, whether that's...
I've heard this story before. Yeah.
Right. And so your tongue is able to put things into play on the earth that aren't there yet. So the Bible talks about this being, there's a spiritual realm. This all ties into like all this paranormal stuff we're talking about.
Yep.
People manifesting things with their thoughts. It's already done in this realm, which is heaven, right? You speak that on earth, you align yourself with that, and then it happens. This also corresponds with doubt, because there's demons actually fly up in the heavens, and they can stop your prayers and things like that. So he mutes his tongue because he knows that if he speaks, he's probably going to...
He, doubts it out of existence.
He's probably going to stop that.
Yeah.
He's freaking out, comes out, and he's got to use his hands and stuff to describe there's a freaking angel inside.
Like when they say he muted him, like for some reason I get this image in my head that he's screaming and nothing's coming out. And it just looked terrifying.
He just freaking clicked him.
Yeah.
He's out there
just
like
hit the mute button.
Higher, everybody trying to steal third base.
Right. So this all corresponds with alien sightings. Like what if we are seeing fallen angels out there? Like what if the people visiting these different people, abducting them freaking out over it, not being able to
So what you're saying is that it could. You're theorizing that it's not people getting abducted by aliens, but them getting visitations from angels.
No, fallen angels,
right. And taking that as extraterrestrial.
Right. I think a lot of different sightings around the world can be.
That's what I said.
Fallen angels.
That was like one of the things we talked about before, because I remember I said something to him, and his brain locked up, like literally locked up. He was driving himself crazy trying to fathom something, and I walked in and he just had this confused look on his face, and he was talking about like demons or demonic. If demons are disembodied and this and that and he was trying to explain that, and then how are people seeing demons? And then I asked him, well, what's a fallen angel? And he was just like mind blown.
Right.
Like, what if that's what they're seeing, are fallen angels?
Right.
What if there is just a misidentification? That's what I always go back to. Like when I say it's something demonic, I'm thinking something more along the lines of a fallen angel.
Right. And I think this has been a theme on the podcast too. Is like we've talked about this numerous times for like in hours on this subject, trying to paint a picture of with fallen angels into this. Now we're seeing aliens and things of nature, UFOs. Can they have that technology? And I think the scripture points to that
it's a possibility.
It's a possibility that they could have technology like that.
Wasn't it the Pope?
Right. He tried to say that UFOs are angelic and we should worship them and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, look how that worked out last time.
Right. I was like,
back to the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Works out
That's
a lot.
like, I know when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, oh wow, and I was thinking like just image in my head of a freaking angel piloting a freaking UFO. I couldn't do it, man. But it's just kind of goofy to me.
I don't know how those ones operate though. Those ones that look like humans. Like, how do they get around? You know what I mean? Are they able to like fly or something, or do they have like how are they able to do that
Dude, that has to be the worst punishment for them. Like you're gonna live
with
in
the
hell
humans?
with the humans.
Right. Right.
Rent, fucking politics,
Right.
gas. Like, good luck paying for gas, dude. Like, should have fucking got a different job. Are you recording?
Yep.
Record.
So now you
Timer?
just during that little break is trying to work this this whole freaking rant you said I went on about like biblical scripture. I'm gonna wrap it up here, but we have all these sightings, and we have all these different abduction stories, and they always have these experiments done on them.
Yeah.
They always have these, even pregnancy stories happen to them, things like that, different markings they come back with, and like things like that.
Or implants.
Right. And now we have these UFOs, and it's a lot of them are like they're just observing us, right? They aren't trying to do anything. They're not trying to be hostile. A lot of them are, but some of them actually do come and take people, and we have these stories. There's a whole freaking doctor that studies implants that aliens have left, and he's like made a whole thing about it, like a whole career. And it's why are these beings so interested in humanity? Like, why are they studying us? We have this theory that maybe they're from the future, right? Maybe they're coming back, but that kind of doesn't make sense if they're already human. They already know how the body works. It's just a little different.
Maybe
from
they're
theirs.
extremely evolved,
Right.
and they're just kind of poking around, almost like they're like dissecting.
Well, it's
Let's say
like
dissecting monkeys,
Right.
like
I don't know if you guys watched a lot of Star Trek, but like Q on Star Trek, he's like a being with infinite power, but he's always harassing the Enterprise and making them do like challenges pretty much, and like trying to understand why they act the way they do. And he's a supreme being. He doesn't need to do anything, but he gets like a kind of a kick out of picking on Captain Picard and their crew and putting them through all this BS pretty much
Right.
for his own like
entertainment.
entertainment.
So this one's could blow your mind. I don't know. Could not surprise you. Could surprise you. It's a theory, but it could be out there too. So in I think it's in 1 Timothy, one of those scriptures, anyways. It talks about how angels learn. They don't learn their verses from the Bible. They don't learn anything of God from God himself, right? They're created by him, but they're created for service. So they all have their different things they do, whether that's worship or warfare or dealing with humanity, whether that's protection, things like that. Is they don't learn from God himself. They don't learn from anything heavenly, right? Is the way that angels learn is from watching the church.
Wow, that's interesting.
Right. So everything they know about God, they learn through us. So whether that's they can't feel what it feels like to worship. They don't know what it is like to converse with God or have that connection, right? So he creates humans, and they're able to have all that freedom. They're able to communicate with God. They're able to worship. So now we have this different thing, whether that's a fallen angel, is if the angel has fallen and he still doesn't know about God, doesn't know about, well, they're godly, right? Angels are. But when he falls, he still has like limited knowledge.
So he has to learn still,
right?
Is what you're saying.
So he's still advanced. I got to be careful with all this crap, but he's still advanced. But he's a fallen angel now. So now he's turned to like demonic.
Yeah.
And there's the references in the Bible that talk about there's still angels that fall. There's still the devil uses the same tactics on the angels the same way he uses the same tactics on us and things like that. So if he's able to have that mindset and fall and has no idea what humans are, even though like this is his job.
Okay,
right?
I see where you're going.
So if this angel, like his sole purpose, his sole creation was created to deal with humanity, like what if he's the fifth division of angels that is called angels and referenced as angels in the Bible that look like man, they look human, and now he's fallen. All he knows now is humans. Like that was his whole job, was to deal with humanity.
Yeah.
So he gets here and now he like really doesn't know anything about what we are, right? Or something like that. Like, is it possible that when he turns to the demonic realm and he's had advancement in technology, advancement in weaponry and things like that, just like the book of Enoch explained, is he able to start experimenting on humans, right? And this is one of the things though, is like, I'm gonna have to find it now, because like, does the Bible allow that to happen? Does that the Bible, those scriptures? Because I'm trying to contain myself within the scripture right now. It's like I'm not trying to like go into different little places and say, okay, that's this and that. Is we got to find now. Is it possible that that's a possibility that the fallen angel is able to now go and touch a person, go and touch a human, and go and take them and experiment on them?
Literally abduct.
Right. So now it's like paranormal pulled into. Now he's a physical person. He's still paranormal. He's still a paranormal being, but now he's able to grab you and freaking take you somewhere and experiment. Is that possible?
That's a scary thought, man. Like just the thought of that is just
right. When he was talking about that whole experiment, that his abduction story was like running through my head. I was like, is that a possibility?
Right. Yeah.
So that ties it up for the whole freaking the Enoch and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, one of these days I'll have to look up that story again. We'll fucking share it. That was fucking dope.
Right.
It was a long story. I think it was like an hour, 45-minute long story about that. Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
about a guy.
Because I mean, we've done this.
It was a
before,
guy and a girl got abducted.
Oh, so it was both. Okay.
Yeah.
right? We've done this before on the podcast. There was we tried a mythical creature, and we tried finding that in the Bible somewhere, and we found Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
And God cursed Cain to be covered in hair and roam the earth.
There was I sent you a video too on that. Did you watch it?
Right.
Yeah, you saw that.
And so
There's
now
a tribe.
Right, and now we have this sightings of like Bigfoot and this person covered in hair, and we know this prophet, and we asked him, like, is it possible that what we're seeing today, whether that's a Bigfoot or a Yeti or something like that, is a descendant of Cain, or is it Cain? And we asked him, is it Cain? And he said, no, it's not Cain, because
He cut that down right away.
right, Cain died actually later on in Scripture, even though God told he was cursed to roam the earth.
Yeah, cursed to walk the earth.
Right, and then he said, no, he died later on in Scripture, but it's possible. And he was like excited about it, and I was like, "This is strange."
It's possible because who was it that actually had a run-in with him, and he said he was covered in hair,
right? Yeah,
and he could have had descendants,
right?
And they could have been cursed exactly like that. So that could be a possibility that there are descendants. We're going into Bigfoot now.
I know, but
man.
it's like it's
Right. What the fuck? We were doing USOs.
I'm trying to paint a picture.
I
It's
know what you're doing.
Is we've covered, it's us trying to reference scripture, whether it's scripture or Egyptian text or Mesopotamia, whatever. If you guys are new to the podcast, is we pull from different cultures.
Yeah.
But one of the central themes is we go back to
And like
right,
ancient texts
Right,
or
ancient
biblical texts and try to like work that theory out through that and
Right.
try to find something that ties into that, is what you're saying.
right, and we found a lot of cool solutions to this whole podcast. Is we found the Cain and Abel thing. We tried
Even Dogman.
right, Dogman.
Yeah.
Right, he was biblical,
Which
and,
we did not put out yet.
right. Oh, that's right. We did have a freaking but the Dogman could have been a biblical thing because we found him in scripture somewhere, and in different Greek texts and things of that nature. Like he was a freaking priest or something.
Yeah.
But this is something we do. So if you guys are like trailing onto the podcast and you guys are coming across Enoch and things like that, and you're like, oh, what the hell's going on here?
Don't worry, we always loop back.
All right, we always try to like paint a picture of can we validate what we're seeing today?
Was I on the Dogman podcast?
Yeah,
I think so.
I was.
Yeah, we try to
You
validate.
never did release that?
That's when we're making fun of you when you're like hopping in your big ass truck because you're so tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As we try to validate. We try to validate today's claims, today's sightings with ancient,
biblical texts
right?
or ancient texts.
Right, and try to see what kind of sightings they had there and do those mesh in with today.
Yeah.
And so we have this guy, his name's Jeremy Corbell.
Yeah.
And he talks about UFOs a lot. He's done documentaries with Bob Lazar, and he talks about how, okay, so we have this technology, right? We're advanced, more advanced than we were like 100 years ago, 200 years ago. And the question that comes up all the time is, are these another country? And he says, well, we have a problem there because now we can go back, especially now, since the U.S. is acknowledging them, since different countries are acknowledging them. Now we can go back to ancient text or ancient writings, whether that's the Egyptians, their hieroglyphs, and saying, okay, so what is that?
Yeah.
Right? So is that what we're experiencing today? Because now we see them today, right? We see these UFOs and like, what the hell is that thing, right? It's too advanced. So
It's probably blowing their mind back in those days. I mean, nothing they had could get off the ground and fly.
Right. Nothing.
And there's things flying around in the sky.
Right.
So that was probably really blowing their mind.
Right. So it opens up a whole new realm we could step into of studying these things.
So like nowadays, people try to like wrap their head around something that they understand. Like it could be a drone, it could be this, it could be that, but back then there wasn't any of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What's that? Give a brief little thing about that abduction stories you had.
It was like a guy like gets abducted from his house and put to pretty much an empty room. He's there. He doesn't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden he's on like an operating table, and they're like doing stuff to his head or something, and then he's put back in his like cell pretty much. And then there's something from his memory there. Like, I think one of the first things he got was a bed, and it was a bed from his childhood that he recognized as being a bed from when he was like 5 or 6. It was too small for him at first. And then it was like these aliens didn't know like anything about him, like anything how to keep a human alive. So then they kept taking him back into the room, pulling like more memories out, and then he'd get something else. Like, in the story, it was like a week before he got fed.
Wow.
And then it was a meal like his mom had made.
Holy
once.
crap. Strange.
And then slowly, like, and like the more cooperative he was being, like the more stuff would be there. Like eventually he'd have like a TV and like a toilet and then like different food instead of, because I think in the story, like they give him the same, it was like a ham sandwich and like something else. And he got the same exact thing every day.
What the hell?
Until like they realized he needed something else, and then like progressively he got more stuff. And then so then they were trying to figure out like how to like reproduce him. And at first they had like an alien or like something like an artificial being in there that looked like a woman but wasn't a woman. And then like through like communication, because he was like, yo, what the hell, like how are you here too, like,
Yeah.
dude, I've been here, do you know where the hell we are, type shit. And then figured out that she wasn't a real person.
Wow.
So eventually they abduct a girl too, and then they're trying to make him breed. And this guy, he was a gay dude
Right.
before he got abducted. And then he didn't want to do anything with this girl. The girl didn't know, and then she was given the same kind of luxuries he was through her mind. They're like learning off of it. And then they're trying to get him to reproduce, and he's gay. He's not attracted to him. So there was like even a thing where it was saying that they were like blaring like the wrong kind of porn,
Oh my god.
thinking that would like
Right.
help. And they had it like playing in his room for days, and it was like too loud. Like it just tortured him pretty much instead of doing it. But then they started giving him different memories. And then like slowly they created like a whole life with him and this girl
Wow.
through like memories that they already had, and then like recreated different ones, to where these guys ended up getting married. They lived in a house. They went to work and all this other stuff.
Wow.
And then they both start, feeling like they're in the Matrix pretty much.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, like we were both on like a UFO or something together. And then they start questioning, is their life real? Did the aliens succeed in whatever they wanted to do and then take them back to Earth and then they live their life? or is everything a recreation? They don't know what the hell's going on. And like the story ended up leaving off in kind of a cliffhanger on that.
Yeah.
But it was really a real detailed story. That's like a brief
That's
thing of
scary.
it, and that's fucking hard to think about.
insane.
That
Man.
is scary. It kind of goes back to the simulation theory too. It's
Yeah.
like everyone's questioning now is like, are we in a simulation?
Yeah.
And they asked Neil deGrasse Tyson this, and he likes the idea. He's like, it's possible. And Elon Musk, he said like one in a billion chance that this is the real world, or 1 in a trillion, something like that. So there's different chances out there saying that there's different simulations and stuff, and there's only one chance that us being alive today is the real world. And that scared the hell out of me.
I saw one where they said this one guy brought up a theory. This is like a theory that's kind of like gaining traction now. Was that you know, the whole like 2012 thing, you know, end of the world,
Right.
And they say that when you die, your brain literally replays your entire life,
Right.
and it'll feel like years. It'll feel like a lifetime going.
Right.
And there's a theory saying that what if we all died in 2012, and all this is going on now is what led up to the end, and this is all just a
I see.
a simulation, like in our head, like that. It's leading up to that. It's like 7-year span or something. That this is what all happened, and all of our consciousness are collectively.
Have you ever done
remembering
DMT?
this.
No,
But it's like just that theory just kind of is so
So in
crazy
that-
because I've never heard that before.
In that theory, we're all basically dead. We're laying on the ground right now.
Yeah, and
we're
it's
going
like
through
all
our-
a collective, like collectively, we're all remembering this, and it's like kind of intertwining, and we're all creating this new kind of memory.
That's so scary.
It's so weird, dude.
do you ever think like all our doomsday prophecies happened in like a multiverse, to
Probably.
where like 2012 the world really ended,
Yeah, that's
but
what I
we're
think.
in like like a parallel universe
Where
where
it
it
didn't
didn't
happen.
end, but those people might have ended it. Like every prophecy was
Right.
like true.
And I think CERN has a lot to do with that.
Because that's when they actually collided.
Right. The Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah, that's where it actually collided.
Right.
Is in 2012.
Is they found the God particle.
They're saying that birthed the Mandela effect.
Right. And
Dude, that Mandela effect bullshit is real.
Right,
There's
it
so
is.
much crazy fucking shit.
I don't.
And
It,
the reason
drives
I,
me nuts.
The reason
man.
I say the simulation thing is like his story is what if those are the coders? Right?
Fine. I don't want to get into this, man. I'm gonna be like drive myself nuts trying to sleep.
Because they
I
say
ain't gonna sleep tonight.
because they asked this question to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he says he likes the idea that someone else is we're in a simulation,
Orchestrating?
right?
Yeah.
Orchestrating. And he said, okay, so what about like
the
digging?
puppeteer.
What about digging down like in a hole, right? You're digging dirt. So how does that work in a simulation? Because in a game, eventually you're going to run out because
Yeah.
it's already there, it's programmed. And he said, well, if they're actively coding, he says all you got to do is make more Earth.
Watch Vivarium. Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't want to.
Watch
I
it,
don't want to,
dude. Watch it.
I saw the
It
trailer.
is just ugly, dude. It's just. I watched it and it was like, man, this gave me anxiety. Just the thought of it, he felt trapped, man.
I don't like those
And
movies.
there's a point where he does that. He starts digging, and he
Oh
just
my
digs
God,
and
no.
digs and digs and digs. And what happens at the end, dude? It's just it's like
Has the
mind-blowing.
Truman fucking thing happened?
yeah.
It's bad. Like the ending, I was just like, dude, that's freaking nuts, man.
They just had another discovery at the Large Hadron Collider too. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they discovered something new.
I can't remember.
And it was like
either, yeah.
it just happened like the past
Yeah.
couple months. So more Mandela's
look into
coming at you.
So anyway, back to UFOs.
Right. That's
And
what I'm
USOs.
saying though. Is this whole simulation thing? Like they're able to create memories and put them in his head.
Right.
They're
And
able
they
to-
pull old memories
Right.
out.
And they're able to create. How are they able to create? Is he on a ship?
Yeah, it's like he's on a different like he doesn't know he's on a ship or not, but he just ends up in this room. And then they describe the aliens too that are working on him, and I can't remember how it went.
Because the way they were able to create a dish that his mom used to make,
From a memory.
right,
Yeah,
is like are they able to simulate that? And you know what I mean?
Well, that's what
Like
they
it's
were.
a hologram sandwich.
No, it's
Is
like
what
it's
you're
probably
like-
a real sandwich. But like,
But they just made it from.
what
his
if they just
memory.
freaking went to the back room and coded it or something and just popped it out? Or
Okay,
or something like that,
made
you know
it
what I
by
mean?
coding.
right.
Well, yeah, you know, like what is it? I can't remember what it's called, but the thing on the fucking Enterprise, like going back to Star Trek, it like you ask it, a replicator is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And it creates it from the atom up,
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and then it's real.
Right. So it's that's what I'm trying to say is like this is a totally
That's
out
a
there.
good way to
this is
actually
a
put it.
totally out there stupid thing to say, and it's like it's gonna make me look crazy.
Like none of
Right.
like the rest of the stuff we said doesn't.
right, it doesn't now because
Yeah, we're definitely fucking crazy.
it
already.
doesn't now because now UFOs are fact.
We're
right?
the most sane.
The only thing we're talking about differently that is like kind of loopy is aliens and things, right?
Yeah.
Even though I believe in aliens, right? But
He wants it so bad.
right, they
So
scare the hell
bad
out of me. But
for it to be like
what if
a
these
Martian.
what if these UFOs we're seeing, these aliens we're seeing, are just the coders coming in and checking on us?
so like you're going toward the simulation
Right,
aspect of it.
right.
They have to like. Could they just like code from a screen? Like, or are you saying they have to like
Physically
jump
come in
into
here.
Earth like it's the fucking holodeck,
I have no idea how it would work.
Like make their way here
Like-
and then
observe us that way?
Right, but then that doesn't make sense though, because like why would they be checking out our
well
nuclear?
there's a theory that they have bases here like and a lot of them are underwater.
right,
Which is why we can't find them like they're in the Mariana Trench.
Well, isn't
the
it like
deepest
we've
places
only
that we
explored
can't
like
find.
10% of our ocean?
Yeah.
right,
Like literally
We've
I think
explored
it's
more
like
of space.
30%, yeah.
right.
Like 70% of it is like untouched.
That just fall.
Yeah, that just slid part way down. That rabbit or whatever that is.
It's
a
a
gnome.
gnome.
That's
It
worse.
just moved.
We're not talking about
weird,
ghosts
yeah.
right now.
No, we're not.
Go away. Talk about aliens.
This isn't your time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fair enough.
I wasn't sure if I saw it I just saw that go. Poof. I was like,
I know. Like, it's not in the corner of my eye.
I
But
was looking directly at it.
I know. It's always you. It's always
I
you're
know.
always the one like.
like the shot glass hopping out of the
Yeah.
freaking strainer. I look at her. This guy's just mortified.
Well, we went way over an hour. I think we should probably start wrapping it up here. But the
Anyway,
Right.
what I was getting at was that there's a theory that there's these bases underwater, and that's why we always see them going into the water, or there's so many reports of them coming out of the water
Atlantis.
or around the water.
Right.
Literally, they say like over 50% of the sightings are in the ocean, above the ocean, or near the ocean. And even like Russia, I think Russia, like 60% of the reports are in the ocean. And so that kind of like makes sense, you know, if they had a base or something like that, it would be in the ocean.
Right.
And
It's a perfect place to hide.
yeah, it's the perfect place to hide.
Right.
Yeah, it's so vast.
There's a lot of space that we can't even touch.
Right.
It's like so deep that our
Do you think they
can't
hid
even-
there, or do you think that they've been there for
that's
thousands of years?
That's a good question. Like if they're just their base is just under
right?
there.
Because
They're
it makes sense. Like if
just,
they-
what's his name said they're already here. What the hell's his name?
I can't remember.
Look at the guy that's always yelling with the raspy voice.
oh, Alex
Alex
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones.
The water's turning the frogs gay.
They're already among us. That guy.
You fucking fucker. You've crossed the line. I bet that guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You met him here, which is
Yeah, he
weird.
was
Yeah, I
here.
bet him. I shook his hand at Three Brothers.
When he was investigating the detention
And he said
center.
he's just like he is on TV, right?
It just-
Or on the internet. Is
Yeah,
that-
he's a nutcase. He's all right though. He was cool. It was when we had that weird Harlem police force just randomly show up.
Right.
Right after they built the prison, and like,
Do you mean the FEMA camp?
yeah, the FEMA camp.
Dude, I got messages from people all over the U.S. and other places asking me about that.
It was a scary time, man. I was like, it's
And I remember Jessica
possible.
got a phone call at Pizza Hut when she worked there. It was some guy like in Texas or something asking about it. He just called a random business here and was
That's
asking
so
about
funny.
it. They're gonna bring people from Guantanamo Bay here and store them
Yeah.
there. And I was like, man, don't do that. You're gonna put us on the wrong kind of map, man.
Right.
I know.
It's too late. It already happened.
Yeah, no.
Dude, all as our prison was a like poorly fucking funded and planned out prison that didn't work out.
Right.
They wanted to put some money in this county, and then they messed up like it's a private prison, and they messed up and didn't put enough or any guard towers on there,
Yeah.
and so nobody wanted to have their fucking prisoners here because they're like, there's not enough security,
Yeah.
Right.
and instead of just
It's just surrounded in
they could have put money
millions
up.
of razor
It
wire.
is
Yeah.
the dumbest place to have a prison. It's like the small town. It's like
Right,
It's like
in
right
town.
behind
It's like-
Shipton's.
Right.
it's like not even it's like in town. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
you don't
literally right
you
in
don't
town.
drive out of town like miles. And the prison's there. It's in town. It's next to the freaking grocery store.
Yeah. Which I toured that prison in school. It was like
Yeah, I did too.
I've never stepped foot in
Pretty
that place,
dope.
man.
Yeah. Well,
That's crazy.
it's a good thing we trailed off into different things during the end of the podcast.
like we didn't even really touch on USOs much, but
we
I was
didn't
like,
touch on
yeah.
UFOs
Well,
very
you-
much at
There
all.
was some like crazy stories. Like that's what I was trying to get at was like, like talking about how fast these things go, especially even underwater. Like there was a director, I think he's a director, I think his name's like Mark D'Antonio or something like that. And he was on a submarine and he was doing research and stuff like that. And while he was on the submarine, they caught one on the radar and they called it a fast mover. And he said this,
Oh,
they
I've seen
clocked
this
this
one.
thing going at 700 knots.
Right.
Underwater.
Right.
This thing was going 700 knots. Like what
Dude, it's funny. You were telling that same story that we went into whales and dynamite and then fucking off the rails.
yeah, I was trying to get into that. We just went way off the rails. But it's just like, man, like I always think about like if a person is trying to fly this thing, how much like G-force and speed can a person withstand?
How do you know where you're going?
Yeah. Like that's so fast. Like you would pass out or it's like I remember watching like Star Wars and when these ships would come in from like where a battle's taking place and they're coming in at light speed and they just stop instantly, just
Right.
Yeah, just splattered on the.
Dude, you would be smeared all over the back wall when you hit takeoff. I mean, not even when stopping. It was like before you even left, you'd be on the back wall just smeared.
Yeah, but
going light
if you
speed.
look at like light speed or space travel as like folding and going through, kind of like fucking Event Horizon type stuff, except
Yeah.
for you don't go through hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then that wouldn't be such an impact.
Right.
Like their drive folds space in half, you go through it, and then it unfolds it,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and
just,
so it can appear like you just showed up.
are you trying to school me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard a few stories and like this I always found this interesting because there was a lot of accounts that were saying that these UFOs were over the water, that the water was actually being pulled up toward the UFO. So like there was a story where they saw I think like a triangular shaped or like a half triangle shaped craft outside of a submarine. And they said that it was literally like, I think a half a mile long. That's how big this craft was. They were using like a laser, like a, what's that called? A
Periscope?
No, a rangefinder,
Oh,
a laser rangefinder. And they said this thing was about at least like a half a mile big. And the water underneath it was being lit up red. Like there was a red light underneath it and it was pulling up the water at least a foot or so up. So it was literally pulling the water up toward the craft.
Oh, I see.
And there was other stories that I found where these disc-shaped ones will be spinning, like underneath, like the center of it will be spinning. And it was pulling up the water and it was making the water swirl almost like a spout. Like you ever see water spouts when they come up like that? It almost looked like a small tornado coming up toward the craft. So do you think these things are actually like creating gravity?
Well, that's one of the theories.
One of the theories, isn't it?
Right, because Bob Lazar mentioned that their propulsion is almost like it's
Gravity
using
based.
gravity. Yeah, and then one of the things too was Hitler had a whole thing about this, and he was trying to create a time machine, but he was trying to use gravity because he was like obsessed with time machine, and the scientists were trying to incorporate gravity, and there's documents saying that they succeeded in building this gravity machine or whatever. Like you get inside of it and it's like some sort of gravity thing inside. So it's possible that these crafts could be using gravity or making their own gravity.
Yeah, I remember Bob Lazar saying that like these ships would actually fall.
Right.
Like if the bottom of the ship is where it, that's how it would fall rather than fly. So it would turn its base sideways if it wanted to go right, and if it wanted to go left, it would turn the bottom of the ship left, so it'd literally fall rather than fly. And that's kind of how the Tic Tac video
flew.
Yeah, that's how the Tic Tac craft flew when they're following it, and it would turn and then it would fall.
Right.
And so I was thinking maybe that's why it was pulling the water up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I just thought that was kind of interesting.
So we've got a correspondent on the line, and we're going to ask him a couple of questions and get his responses because we have exhausted all of our
Brain cells.
All of our
on
brain
this.
cells.
Yeah.
So we got Jamie Lissow on the line, and we're going to ask him a question. And the first question coming in is, what does the alien look like? Jamie, take it away.
Okay, the question coming in is, what do aliens look like? Well, you may have heard people say aliens are little green men, which I think is extremely sexist. Okay, there's got to be female aliens, and to just talk about the men being green, I think is extremely rude. There must be little green men and women. But I personally think that there are two types of aliens. You've heard the term grays. People talk about the grays. But I wonder, is this person colorblind? Is everything else look gray? When was this discovered? Is this back when, in the time of black and white TVs, and that's why it looks gray? Perhaps these aliens are blue, and you were looking at them through a black and white camera. I'm just throwing it out there. Other possibility, I think, is that aliens look just like we do. Do you know what I mean? They have the technology, the crafts to get all the way to the Earth. Is it so crazy to think that they could look like one of us? Look at Elon Musk. Look at that guy sending rockets up in the air, making electric cars that fart on command. You think this is a human being? Elon Musk is brilliant, and I love this man, and I'm a fan, but every time Elon Musk talks, I'm waiting for him to turn around to see that battery pack. It just occurred to me that doesn't necessarily mean he's an alien. That means he's like a robot. So I might have to go back and reconfigure my answer. I guess my answer is little green men, and or they look just like us, and they may be walking among us. Don't we all know one or two people that seem like they're probably aliens? Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to throw any names out there, but I think you guys know who I'm talking about.
This is stupid. So, well, I mean, we've tried to explain what an alien looks like, and there's like really not too many references like to what people describe what aliens look like when they see them, like abduction, but a lot of them differ from each other.
Like I've heard like humanoid, like of course they like look like humans except distorted, maybe bulbous heads and long scrawny arms, discolored, and then there's ones that look like mantises. Right. Yeah.
But they say that if we were to go to Mars, then in a couple hundred years we would have bulbous heads and lanky arms and big eyes.
So you think these things are Martians?
Maybe.
Right.
Isn't that what they call aliens from Mars? Martians?
Right, Martian.
Okay, yeah.
So if Elon Musk succeeds, we're going to become Martians. That's
going
to freak people out on Earth.
I know. Come back to visit and they just have bulbous freaking Megamind style heads.
Fuzz.
And we have another question coming in, and this one is, what was the question, Marcus? What was it? Was it worded?
How fast does a human have to be going to black out or evaporate?
Right.
Pretty damn fast.
To our correspondent, take it away.
Okay, so the question we have coming in is, how fast do you think a human being needs to be going in order to black out or evaporate? Well, let me say, not to brag, but I have as a human traveled at a very fast speed before. One time comes to mind, I remember my phone, I had set it on an end table at the end of the couch, and my girlfriend reached over and tried to look at my phone. And I must have gone about, 1,000 miles an hour as I ran over there to grab that phone before she could turn it on. And I don't remember blacking out and or evaporating, but my guess would be if your average commercial aircraft goes I think it goes between somewhere maybe 500 miles per hour. Of course, depending on, like, sometimes it'll, if it crashes, it'll be going 0. But I would guess the human being would black out and or evaporate at 1,000 miles an hour.
They're like waiting like he's actually.
Huh.
I think
You know what's interesting about that is
Right.
I think it's actually like almost. I think it's almost 700 miles an hour to like pass out. I think it is.
Right.
So like if you this story I just told with the aircraft going 700 knots underwater, you can only withstand that for so long before you pass out. So this can't be a human flying this thing.
Right.
It has to be like, either, extraterrestrial or an unmanned craft.
Right.
but you think if like you're talking about UFOs using gravity
Yeah.
and stuff, like if they could like harness the power of gravity, they could make like anti-gravity, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And then say your ship's flying 1,000,000 miles an hour, but you're not moving at all inside.
Yeah.
Right. It goes back to like Einstein's theory of what the hell was it? I don't know if it's inertia or that's freaking not Einstein. But
Relativity.
he has this. It was one of his journals, but he was talking about how you throw an apple up in the air while you're driving so fast and it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Like it stays within that space in the car,
Right.
Yeah.
as opposed to if you threw it out the window and it's gonna.
And it was gonna. Yeah. Okay. So same idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know where I pulled that from. Freaking Einstein.
But like, I mean, it's not the same when you're like in a jet or something.
Right, because like if you slam on the brakes in a car, you're gonna feel yourself going forward. If the car takes off, you feel yourself
lean back.
back.
I mean, I drove some fast cars, and they put me in the seat. So yeah, I know what you mean. So like, I'm just saying like
Maybe the
but it's the ships like the Tic Tac that would literally turn on a dime.
right.
It would literally like it'd be going left, and it would tilt, and at an in an instant it's going right.
Right.
But think too, like, say you're in the Tic Tac and it's like a gyroscope in there, and you're sitting in a seat. The ship's moving and your seat is
Right.
Oh, your
still
seat
upright.
is staying. Okay, I get what you're saying. All right.
like, what if that's how it works? You know
So
what I mean?
you're literally sitting upright, and the ship is turning around you.
Right. Aaron
Yeah.
Baker with the new
There you
freaking
go.
insights here.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
That's why you guys keep me around.
I guess you'd have to go to Bob Lazar for that one.
Right.
Yeah.
That does make sense though. I like that idea.
That is a pretty cool thought, though.
Right. Instead of
But
freaking
still, it would,
sloshing
like-
around in the freaking
and
ship.
I think you'd still be,
Right. Unless it was
the thing that made me think of that is Slave 2. Fucking when Boba Fett and them guys take off, his seat moves
yeah.
with the
right.
ship. So then he starts out like sitting upright, and then the ship moves around him to where he's still upright looking out the window.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool.
But it's probably a way where that thing can move and
I watch a lot of science
take
fiction shit.
right.
I was gonna throw in Battlestar Galactica too, about how I don't know if you guys have watched that show, but at the end of the show, they had been people that had left a different planet like Earth, and they're leaving because the Cylons or whatever the fucking robots take over. But when they get to Earth, they don't want their technology to fucking ruin the planet that they're coming to, and their humanoid race too. And so they send their technology into the fucking sun and then live like them, but with the knowledge like God's.
Oh, okay.
And that
Oh,
was
I
kind of
see.
a weird perspective, which kind of blew my mind at the end of the show. I was like, yeah, that's fucking kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like it maybe
You think that could be,
these
the case?
technological beings were another race of humans from a different planet, fucked their shit up.
Yeah.
And then they came here, and so they didn't fuck us up all the way. They sent their technology off, except for like the basic necessities, and then was able to like teach us the wheel and fire and how to survive. And then we just look up to these guys like gods because fuck, they know everything.
Yeah.
Maybe they taught us language. You know what I mean?
Right. Kaboom! That makes
Pa, pa, pa,
sense.
pa.
One last mind-blowing moment from there.
Right.
Yeah, it was a sci-fi show.
Right. And the sci-fi
Watch
shows
that.
have
Talking like he wrote it.
Well-
it sounded like he just came up with that
Well,
in his head.
I was I can't remember if it was like Gene Roddenberry from like Star Trek or something saying everything from when he was a kid that was science fiction
Yeah.
came true eventually.
Right.
Going into space and stuff when nobody thought that we were ever going to go to space.
Yeah.
Nobody thought we were ever going to invent an aircraft. Nobody knew that we were going to be able to microwave a meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything science fiction eventually becomes reality depending on how hard we want to work on making it reality.
Who was it? Buzz Aldrin was saying that we never even went.
Right. Yeah.
You,
Man,
his videos.
He slips
He
so much.
slips it up so much, and even to the point where he's saying that we never went.
Right. There's a video of him telling a little girl
Yeah, he's saying
Never
it
went.
never happened.
Never happened.
We never went.
Right.
And there's even times when they talk about it, and they're talking about when they went to the moon and stuff like this, and he just in his face, he's like shaking his head like, I can't lie anymore. I gotta tell the truth. And
I'm
that's what it
getting
seems
old.
like. So
Right.
I think we did go just because of how complex that lie would have to be.
yeah.
And you can get on NASA's website and look at all the pictures from the missions.
But the thing that
Right.
got me with some of the pictures is they're like, okay, this was a different location, but the rocks are all still in the same spot when
Right.
you line up the pictures.
Or there was
so that's where I was like, whoa, what if it was?
we got
a
to
lie,
cover
you
this
know?
this whole moon landing thing and do a podcast about this because there's so much. But there's a
Or even the freaking bottom of the boots, they're different than the
right.
prints.
There's a photo of a famous photo that was taken in space. Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of them kind of like in almost like a seating position like this, and he's like in the air, whatever. And that made the national headlines. But come years later on, there's a photo inside of their
Water tank.
something like that. They're like testing out how it's
Yeah.
going to be up there, and there's the exact same photo. He's
Yeah.
sitting in the freaking
Well, then that's what's so hard about nowadays. Like we've been talking about technology, and we don't know how fake the news is now. You can
Right.
CGI fucking anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we've seen it. Like there was
What
even
if that
picture-
interview though with Buzz Aldrin was them CGI Buzz Aldrin's face and just making it seem like that?
right. It's possible. Everything
Yeah,
like
that
that's
could be a
possible now.
possibility, too. Like you have to like really dig into some like old recordings or something.
The
to see if
thing
it was
is
true.
we'll never know the actual truth of anything.
I mean,
Yeah,
going
just
anymore.
like the way you can manipulate things nowadays, it's just it makes it hard to believe certain things. Like I remember watching this this one. It was I think it was supposed to be a space station, and it was green screen. You seeing things were like props, certain things were staying in place, and other things you start seeing the lines. Like we mess with green screens a lot,
Right.
And you'd see all the signs.
Right.
It was a green screen.
yeah, because there's
And who's to say fucking I watched that thing with Buzz Aldrin talking to that girl. It was way later. What if that fucker had dementia?
When he's old,
Yeah.
right.
Well, there was even some when he was young. I found I think a video or so when he was younger, and he was kind of you could see it. He started saying stuff, and it was like they're kind of looking at him.
But
like,
then
"Shut
how
up."
many moon missions were there? Weren't there like 7?
So like that, it ended with Apollo 11, right?
Yeah, there was multiple. Like Buzz Aldrin and them were famous for being the first ones. What if he's saying that he was never to the moon, but those other moon landings were legit?
Right, but it's like it's stupid though. Like
But it was
why
saying he was there.
why don't we
walked on the
have
moon.
the technology to go back?
Yeah, he was saying that. Yeah, when they were saying, "Do you think we're ever going to go to the moon again?" And he was like, "It never happened, little girl."
well, I heard they're planning on a moon trip again,
Right.
Yeah,
and they're planning to put like a permanent base on the moon.
and they're
Right.
talking about having like a resort in space, like where you
Oh,
can
yeah,
go
I've
and
heard
stay
about
like a week
Fucking
or
Bezos,
something.
fucking that guy.
Why did it
Remember,
take,
it used to be the Virgin Airlines guy. Now it's Bezos.
Yeah,
why did it take us so long to go back though? It's like it's been like what more than 50
like they
some
should be
years,
doing it
60 some-
constantly. Like,
Why
do we
let's
need to?
keep going
Right. Well, yeah, I guess so.
to study it?
Why spend billions of dollars to go back to something we've already been to when we could push further away?
Like Mars.
Right.
Like we've been
Mars.
sending fucking telescopes and shit way the fuck out there now, and doing more and more better recon on other planets. NASA, they make a lot of money, but a lot of money goes into those other projects.
Right.
I was listening to somebody from NASA talk about that. Be like, we aren't going to be wasting all that money again.
To go to somewhere we already been.
We're going to try to push past that.
Right.
I mean, they barely even touched the moon. is the reason why I'm like, well, why don't they go back and research it more?
Right. I think we should do a podcast on
Like some of the spots on the moon that look like it was old ruins of buildings and
Right,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
We should go and do a podcast about the moon landing, and I think we should look at the dark side of the moon. Have you guys heard anything about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Looked at that?
Yeah.
Of like there's a tower there that's like 11 miles high,
Yeah.
and they don't know how it got there, but they mentioned it, but they don't mention it on like the public.
Right. All those monkeys from fucking Space Odyssey.
Right.
There.
And they're different black box recordings, things like that they didn't put out in the public and that are now public. And it's strange. It's like they're talking about craft that they're seeing. They're talking about being inside of a trench, and there's these people watching them, and you can hear them actually say, you can hear Buzz Aldrin talking about who are these guys, and they're watching us.
Yeah, but Buzz Aldrin never went.
Oh, right. Well, some people, I don't know, if he didn't go.
God
the
damn
other ones. Right, but there's recordings of these astronauts talking about these creatures
Something
or whatever
watching them.
on the ridge.
Or even outside the windows of their craft.
Right.
You know, they're like, oh, there's something out there.
I think we should take that, do it Fallen Hour style, and mesh it up, put it out there.
Did you
and
see that one where they had that long tether that was like a couple miles long?
tether?
And it broke off their...
Oh, yeah.
and it was floating out there, and all these little lights that are coming around it.
Right, and they...
Checking it out.
Yeah. It's freaking nuts, dude. I want to find
But
that
it's
again.
probably a huge lag, though, in the NASA's...
Obviously
line.
not. I mean, have you seen, when
I know, but
Buzz
now...
Aldrin was up there? It was crystal clear. And that was like, how long ago? It's only going to get
No,
better.
I mean the live stream now of the space station. I bet you there's like a huge lag so they can actually like watch and monitor and then cut.
Okay, yeah. So like they can edit like how they did the Super Bowl after Janet Jackson whipped out her.
Yes.
So now they have that leeway. So if anything, like if anybody whips out a booby again, they can cut it off.
A booby.
Dude, it's funny. I used to go on YouTube and watch a live space station
Oh, they're gonna
to
say
keep
that.
the kids asleep
Oh yeah.
because they'd play like mysterious
Dude, I
type music.
did that.
Did
too,
they really? They still do that or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on
Oh, I didn't
YouTube
know
and
that.
watch live.
But I'm always like, do I
footage.
want to watch this? What if I see something? And then I'm like, wide awake.
You're the only one that
I'm the
saw
only
it.
one that saw it. And I'm trying to sleep, and now I'm up, and I'm going to have my phone just holding it at the screen, waiting for something to peek back into the freaking screen.
That'd be you.
No, I always end up turning it to like waterfalls.
Well, does that do it for this podcast? Have we
Yeah.
exhausted? Thank you to our correspondent. And are we done here? Is it good?
Yeah,
You guys good?
yeah.
Yeah. It's been like 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah. And if anybody else has like questions for Jamie Lissow to answer, we'll gladly get those to him.
Right,
too,
inbox
so.
us on Fallen Hour, or you can actually go to our website, fallenhour.com, and there's a form there. You can fill it out and ask us questions.
Ask those questions or leave your stories, anything strange. We'd love to hear it.
That being said, we got 300 stickers to put out there. And so you guys go to fallenhour.com. We have a bunch of stickers up for sale. We're going to start putting up art for sale. Some of our notes, like we take notes in the podcast to prepare for the podcast. Like you've seen me throwing some away. Is we're actually going to put those up for sale for a couple bucks, and you guys can take those and we'll sign them and all that stuff. And new posters come in, cups come in, things like that. So fallenhour.com.
Mugs in and
Right, so
all that
all
good
things Fallen Hour, hear the news. Next podcast coming out. This podcast, you can all watch that on Fallen Hour. And also, when we're guest hosting with other podcasts, we'll have a full lineup of where we're going to be, and you guys can go support their podcast. We have Ghost Biker coming up. We're going to be on her podcast on the 12th.
on the 12th. Yeah.
Right, so if you guys are on Facebook, she does a live stream, right?
Yeah, it's going to be live.
Right, so if you guys...
Ghost Biker Garage.
So if you guys are on Facebook, make sure you go to Ghost Biker Garage or search Ghost Biker on Facebook, and you'll be able to see
And
our live
YouTube.
stream. Right, and YouTube.
Yeah.
So that is on the 12th of... I'm going blank now. What month are we in?
Next month, man. It's
May.
April right now. So, it'll be
Right.
May.
So May 12th, we're going to be on Ghost Biker Garage, and that'll be a live stream. So go there, share the podcast, comment, ask us questions, things of that nature. My name is Cdale. This is Marcus, and tonight, special guest. Well, it's not even a special guest. He's just part of the
Yeah,
podcast.
he's just, you know him.
He's Aaron Baker.
Not so special.
Aaron Baker.
Later.